And we're back on our show this Thursday morning once again with Mr. Kennedy, nice enough to stick around for a few minutes.
Right.
Chat with us.
We want to talk about Medicare.
Okay, Medicaid.
Medicaid.
Yeah.
Medicaid.
People get them mixed up a lot. I do.
Yeah.
Medicaid is for low income. Medicare is for people like Mark who get old.
Right.
Not us.
General population.
General population. Yeah.
And I am
Older
old.
folks.
Or I'm
I'm
getting
No,
there.
you're not. I expect the new legislature, because Governor-elect Edwards has promised, to join the Medicaid portion of Obamacare. That means we'll add 300,000 new Medicaid patients to our rolls, cost about $1.5 billion. We need to do what Pennsylvania and Arkansas and Iowa, other states, Arizona, have done. If we're going to join Medicaid, and I confess I've got my doubts because I think it's a very ineffective way to deliver health care. But if we're going to do it, we need to insist on some taxpayer-friendly provisions before we join. For example, we ought to reserve the right to use the money to buy people private insurance. We need to reserve the right to withdraw from the Obamacare provision if the feds don't keep up their end of the bargain, which is to pay 90% of the cost. Having to pay 10% for us is bad enough. A lot of the folks who will be added to the Medicaid rolls are able-bodied. We ought to require, since taxpayers are putting up this money, that those folks either go get a job or join a job training program. We ought to put in another provision that says if you're going to use your Medicaid to go to an emergency room where it's very expensive to be treated for a non-emergency, like to acne or a pregnancy test or obesity counseling, you can do that in a private clinic. If you want to do it in an emergency room, you need to pay a copay. Let's say a modest copay, $25 or $30.
Yeah.
But that all the rest of us have to do that, and that keeps you from using the emergency room like a private clinic.
Right. And
Just
imagine what that
common
does
sense
to the
stuff.
emergency room and
We
to the
will,
hospitals.
if we do these common sense, taxpayer-friendly conditions, and the feds will accept them, we can save the taxpayers in Louisiana hundreds of millions of dollars that can be spent on LSUA and on roads and on public schools and coastal restoration and the other things that we need.
We need to spend on.
But again, it's to the public. It's up to the public to put the pressure on the folks that we need to put pressure on.
Yes, and look, call your legislator, write him, email him, what do they call it, tweet him,
Instagram,
Periscope. If they
We go on and on.
don't contact you back,
Just
do
get
it
in
again and
touch.
do it again.
Right.
I've seen it work. In 2008, the legislators gave themselves a pay raise. They didn't get that pay raise. And you know why? Because the people of Louisiana reared up and said no. Politicians will listen if you're persistent. And you know, you get what you tolerate in politics. If everybody just sits back and says, well, okay, there's nothing we can do, they're going to do what they want.
and you can't complain about it.
And you can't complain about it. And look, we can solve the problems of this state by controlling our spending. The budget right now is $25 billion. 10 years ago, it was $16.5 billion. What's happened over that 10-year period? We've lost people, and inflation's been under 2%. The truth is, adjusted for inflation and demographics, we have more money right now than we have ever had in the history of this state. But they keep spending more than they take in. They raised taxes last spring, $800 million. They're still running deficits. And they'll keep running deficits as long as they keep spending more money than they take in. I mean, I can get a pay raise tomorrow of $20,000 extra. I won't, but I could. But if I go spend, and I say, well, we're in great shape, Becky, my wife, but if I go spend $25,000, then we'll go run a deficit. It's just real simple.
It's real simple. But thank you so much for
Thanks for
spreading the
stopping
message.
by.
And always telling the truth.
Thanks.
You know, we just need to know the truth and need to be able to
Well,
respond
that's
to that.
my job. It's not good news sometimes,
good
but
news.
it's my job.
And enjoy Natchitoches and the Christmas.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
You'll have a great time.
Yeah, I know. I do it every year.
Okay, again, the website about the savings bonds.
LA Treasury, LATREASURY.com.
Okay,
Got it.
wonderful. Thank you.
More to come. Stay with us.